Alright, here we go, here's the plan. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. It's not gonna be a zip. I didn't zip this?
So where these screws are, it's just gonna be a bigger hole. Okay, so as you can see that this is gonna be like
okay, so let me stop it. Why did I do that? Usually when you stop it, you throw it off. Sorry, I'm okay. Let's throw it out. Okay, pause it and then take it backwards. Okay, so as you can see here, the lines in the middle. Okay, that's my center point of the whole project. Now, I'm going to show you the project here in a minute when it's finished, but I want to show you that video in a minute. But this is the part right here where this is going to be the back of the picture frame itself. And I'm going to show you that piece in a second. I think I show you this piece in this video. I'm not sure if I do or not. Yeah, here. Here's the back of it. Now this is the back. Now what I'm doing here in this part is I'm showing you basically the center of center. I'm not going to play the whole video because it's just not questionable. It's just some of the stuff that I say in it is crazy. You won't understand it. So, okay, so then let's get into this part. This part right here. And, okay, now here we go with this. Now I'm going to discuss this part.
So this is going to go right here like this. And it's going to be screwed down here like this.
Basically, in this part, I'm showing you center. But let me show you something that I did.
And we're going to mark this.
And then pause it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm looking for center on the board. I find the center on the board. Then I mark it where I'm going to screw it on. Okay, now, there, right there. That's where it is. Hey, you want some coffee? All right. Okay, so see how the board is? I got those cross in there. But see those lines? The board is off center. And so I had to make control lines in order to get to the center of the board. Because it's not level. It's everything is cattywampus about this board. So what I did was I took my big old T-bar that I got. And I just made I put it on a straight line. I put it on the corner, the closest to the corner I could. And made a line going across. And I did it on the other side the same way. But I used the same line on the same side to make both lines. And then that's how I got center on that board. Because that one I never found center. One side was 13 1/4 and the other one was 13 1/2. So it was like all kinds of weird. I never seen a board like, well, I did see boards like that, but okay. So that's what it's going to look like. And then the iPad basically clicks in. And I'm going to show you that part right now. And right now I'm explaining it. You know what? Let me explain that part. So let me play that part. I'm going to shut up.
4 holes are going to be drilled. And then down there in the bottom, those same 4 holes are going to be done too. And we're going to do that with the box that I got made down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the wood on the outside of the box and we're going to actually make it, we're going to sand that stuff down real good. The top, the bottom, and the sides of that box. And this pole right here, we're not going to attach anything to it after we get the bolts done. We're going to bolt this, get the bolts in here, get everything ready to go. And then when it comes time to actually put this, because this is where the bolts are going to be, right? Y'all know that. The bolts are going to be on this board right here. And this is where it's going to sit. So this board right here is going to actually be attached to this board. This and this are going to be physically attached forever. This is the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you how we're going to take this board, attach it to this board, and then after that, we're going to show you, but I'm going to take this apart as I'm kind of getting an idea of what I got to do. So I'm trying to get the center of this board with this thing right here so I can get everything done and we can get on to it. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this set up so that I can drill the holes, because I got to drill 2 holes And I got to drill the holes tonight. They have to be done. So I'm trying to get an idea of where it goes. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this and I'm going to drill 2 holes here on this. And it's going to set this into place, the iPad. And then the iPad will be already set. And all I have to do is go back in. I need the iPad set so I can set these boards, so these can set these holes. So I know where everything's going to set. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get this done. It's dark 30 out here. I got to clean the garage up. In the morning, so I can show you how to we can finish the project. This is going to be a 2-video project, or 3-video project. Today, tomorrow, and then next week. We're going to go ahead and get the rest of the wood, the paint, and everything else. Get it ready for the following 2 weeks. So the following 2 weeks, we got a bunch of stuff going on. So I got to get this done now because I need to get on those people about getting the music. Because we got to get that music going, man, because it's going to be that time real quickly. A lot of people don't understand when you're booking gigs, you're booking a gig and you're telling them, hey, I need the music, I need the music. They don't understand what the DJ has to go through to get that music together. Because it ain't just about going and getting the music. It's about finding the music you want. And sometimes, in a nutshell, some people might say, I want this. This is a guideline of music, how I want it. And then they give you like maybe 9 or 10 songs. And then they say, follow that artist. Or artists of same type. It's usually with banda. So then I'm all, going after all the banda. But that's how it works. So that's how I do it. So anyway, let's get back into the project. Okay, so now we are ready to mount this to the board temporarily so I can get the holes drilled, because this is going to be a permanent hole. That's going to be a permanent hole on this. There's going to be a permanent hole on this. I can go ahead and get the power set, get everything else set. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead.
Okay, here is where I'm actually taking the board. I'm going to screw it down, but I'm not going to screw the board down. I'm going to show you this technique. So I got 2 screws. What I'm going to do is this little iPad thing right here is going to hold the iPad in the picture. Now basically what's going to happen is the theory on this is I need something to keep the iPad from falling out when the customer goes in to push it. Now you can do all kinds of different fancy stuff with it, but this seems like the cheapest, best, ideal way. Now let me explain this to you. I just showed my daughter this and she thinks it's awesome. So I did have somebody look at it and I did have her push the button and take some pictures. I have to pay for the software, so it wouldn't let me render the video, render the pictures. But that's okay, because we're going to pay for the software in a couple days and get this thing underway. Okay, now watch the rest of it. And I'm going to take and screw it down. Now, when I screwed this down, I had to play with the screws because I screwed it down too far. When I screwed it down too far, it popped the thing up. So what I had to do is I had to loosen the screw up just a little bit. It didn't take much, but I had to loosen it up. And then I could pop it in, pop it out. And then okay, so let me go ahead and show you that too. So what I did right there. Right here. So the screwdriver right here, the screw, what I did was I drilled a hole. And then I put it in there. Okay, now the lights, I'm having a problem with the corner and the bottom, but I'm going to fix that situation. They're bright as hell, too. They're bright as hell. You're going to see that in a minute. Okay, so what I did was I put a hole here in the top. This right here, there's a hole up here in the top. The line that goes through the hole, and then watch. I'm going to flip it around. These are going to go around here. They're already set. But watch what I do with the other part of it. So I'm going to take and I'm going to flip the board around right there. Okay, now look. I just drilled a hole through the other side. Just put the wire in the hole. And this comes down from the top. It goes into here. Now this is the iPad wire. Now what I'm going to do with the iPad wire is I'm going to come over here to this pole right here. Because remember, this piece right here comes off of this pole. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the iPad wire, and it's not going to be attached to the inside of this box. It's going to be actually attached to the pole. So just to let you know that the lights and this, oh shit. I just thought about that. I'm going to figure the lights out. I think this is going to be a temporary light situation. I'm not too sure yet what I want to do with the lights. But I'm using this as for the next gig, and they're actually going to redo this booth. I'm doing this I'm going to do the booth to see how it turns out, and if I like it, I'm going to get a compressor for Christmas. I'm going to actually build me a really nice booth, but this is just like a Kickstarter to see if I can actually pull one off and see how good it is. So that's what this is. This is an idea. I've talked with the bride about it, and she's excited. So, you don't have to have a professional looking booth. You just have to have one that looks good. So what I'm doing here is this is going through the top, this wire right here, where my finger is over there, where the pencil is, right there, that wire coming through, that's through the top. That's not center. What I'm doing right now is I'm finding the center for the board, the center of the board, so I can, which is 2 and 11/16, and I'm basically going to get the board, and I'm find 2 11/16, and then find the 2 and 11/16, put the hole there, and be done. 2, 2.5. What's 2.5 and 2.5 is 5, right? So 2 and 11/16 is actually going to be 6 and whatever it was, 6 and 0.78 or some crazy number. They're not, I'm going to tell you, they're not 6 inches. If you can find one 6 inches, show me where you got it. I want to know. And then I drill a hole, and I drill a hole. I drill 2 holes. I put 1 hole through, and then watch. I'm going to flip the board over in a second. Then I flipped it over again, and I'm drilling again. I'm drilling 3 holes. 3 holes been drilled in this board. See? And then I put the power there. I think I'm going to keep this. Actually, technically, I can get away with doing this because this detaches right here, which is nice. Detaches from the power button, and then I can get away with it. I'm going to totally work everything out by the time I start transporting this. Now, the wood itself, I'm going to explain this to you. If you take wood and you go to the lumber yard to buy wood, you're going to find a tree. We're going to take you this week, next Saturday. Come with me to Home Depot when I go. I'm going to take you. I'll make for sure my phone's charged so I can show you how we're going to get the true of a board. Because I want you all to see how to do a true of board. If you know already true of board, then don't have to follow me. But so that basically is the power button there, and this goes in there like that. And as you can see, it goes in there like this. And so it sits in there really nicely. Now I was having problems with that light once I got it on there, and I'll show you that in a minute. And I pulled my blade out. I was going to stick somebody. Just kidding. I ain't going to stick nobody. I'm a mellow person. Okay, so that's that part, right? Okay, so let's go and take you